All right, we have Ready Freddy, Firehouse Fun, Chapter 7, Stop, Drop, and Roll. Come on, Freddy, said Robbie. We've got to hurry up. It's time for our fire safety lesson. Captain Ken led everyone back to the classroom in the fire station. Everybody, please find a seat. I'm going to do a little lesson on fire safety now, and then I'll choose a few lucky people to slide down the fire pole. I closed my eyes, and I wish that this field trip was already over. And when I opened my eyes, I was still sitting in the same place. Why couldn't I have magic powers just this once, I whispered to myself. Did you say something, Captain Ken asked. I realized that he was talking to me. No, nothing, I said. Okay then, let's get started. I'm going to ask you the most important question first. What should you do if you ever have an emergency? Dial 911, we all said together. Very good. If you ever have an emergency at your house, if your house is on fire or somebody gets hurt, then you should call 911 right away. It is very important that you know your address, because the 911 operator will ask you what it is, so she knows where to send help. If you're not sure of your address, then go home tonight and practice it with your parents. We have talked about that in school a lot of times. You gotta know your address. Now, does anybody know what to do if your clothes catch on fire? Before anyone had a chance to answer, Max jumped out of his seat, dropped onto the floor, and yelled, "Stop, drop, and roll! Stop, drop, and roll!" demonstrating as he said it. That is correct, said Captain Ken. If your clothes catch on fire, then you should not run around. If you run around, the flames will get bigger. Instead, you should drop to the ground and roll around, and that will put the flames out. Thank you for your answer, Max, said Mrs. Wishy, but next time, please wait to be called on. And there is Max doing his stop, drop, and roll, and Freddy sitting in the chair. Let's see. Ken continued. Raise your hand if you have smoke detectors in your house. Everybody's hand shot up. Excellent. That's what I like to see, because smoke detectors save lives. And what should you do if your smoke detector goes off in the middle of the night? Get out of the house, said Jessie. Exactly, said Captain Ken. How many ways are there to get out of your room? Oh, I know this one, said Chloe. One way out through the bedroom door. Actually, said Captain Ken, there is a second way out. Does anyone know what that is? Robbie raised his hand. I know. You could go out the window. Very good, Robbie, said Captain Ken. That is correct. If you smell smoke in your house, crawl to your bedroom door and feel the door with the back of your hand. If your door feels hot, then don't open it. Climb out the window instead. Or, if your bedroom is not on the ground floor, open the window and wait for the firefighters to arrive. Why do I have to crawl? Asked Chloe. Because if your house is filling up with smoke, you don't want to breathe in that smoke. It's not good for you. The cleaner air is closer to the ground, so that is why you should crawl. Once you're outside, you can go back. Once you're outside, should you go back in to get your teddy bear or your special blanket? If I left my China doll in my room, then I would have to go back and get it. It's a special present from my Nana. She had it when she was a little girl, said Chloe. If it got burned, I would never be able to get another one. They don't make them anymore. Well, my abuela, my grandma, always tells me that I should never go back in, said Jessie. She says that she can buy another bear or another toy, but she can't buy another me. That's right. Your grandma is a very smart lady. You should never go back inside a burning building. I know the doll your Nana gave you is one of a kind, Chloe, but no toy is more important than your life. I know your grandma would never want to lose you. No, she wouldn't, said Chloe. She always tells me how precious I am. I think I'm going to be sick, whispered Jessie. Robbie giggled. Okay, moving on, said Captain Ken, continuing. How many of you have a family meeting place for once you get outside? I do, said Robbie. If there's ever a fire in a house, then my sister and I are supposed to get out as quickly as possible and then meet my parents at the big tree in the front yard. That's a great meeting spot. Does anyone else have one? I'm supposed to go to my neighbor's house, said Max. That's another good idea. You are all so smart, said Captain Ken. Now that we all know how important smoke detectors are, you should check them often to make sure they're all working. I always know when the battery is getting low, said Jessie, because it starts chirping like a bird. Yes, that's one way to know if it needs a new battery, but it's better not to wait that long, said Captain Ken. It's a good idea to check them once a month. You should remind your parents at the beginning of each month to check the smoke detectors. It only takes a few minutes and it saves lives. Let's just talk about a few more things and we'll do the fire pole. Time was running out. I had to think of something fast. I raised my hand. Yes, said Captain Ken. May I please go to the bathroom? Of course you can. There's one right down the hall. Would you like me to have Brad show you where it is? No, that's okay, I said. I can find it myself. The truth was, I really wasn't going. And there he is, by the way, raising his hand. But he really wasn't going to the bathroom. I was going to find a place to hide until our visit was over. Oh, that's not going to end well. There was no way I would ever have the guts to slide down that pole, and I didn't want Max calling me a baby for the rest of my life. If I just disappeared for a little bit, no one would know I was gone. I would just reappear when the pole sliding part was over and act like I was sorry I missed it. I tiptoed out of the room as Captain Ken was reminding everyone never to pull the fire alarm at school as a joke. I quietly walked down the hall and into the garage. I decided that one of the fire trucks would be the best place to hide. I walked over to the shiny, big red fire engine that Robbie and I had been playing in earlier, and I climbed up. Sparky was sleeping on the front seat, and he jumped up when I stepped inside. And there he is, leaving and getting in. Hey, boy, I whispered. I patted his head so he wouldn't start barking, and then I got down on the floor so nobody would be able to see me in there, and I lay perfectly still without making a sound. Sparky curled up next to me. The only thing I could hear were the sounds of his breathing and the beating of my heart. Thump, thump, thump. Next is Chapter 8, Emergency. Emergency! Emergency! The voice was calling. Oh no, I thought, what happened? Is somebody hurt? The voice got closer and closer and louder, and then I realized it was Mrs. Whooshy. Help me, please, somebody, please, help, help. Mrs. Whooshy, what is the problem? I heard Captain Ken say. You know how one of my students has to go to the bathroom? Yes. Well, he didn't come back, and so I went to look in the bathroom and he wasn't there, and I don't know where he is, and I'm really worried that something has happened to him. Don't worry, Mrs. Whooshy, I'm sure he's all right. Brad will stay with the rest of the class, and I will help you find him. Oh, I hope he's okay. Wow, I had no idea my hiding was going to be such a problem. I had never thought that Mrs. Whooshy would even notice. Freddie, Freddie, she called, where are you? Just then I felt a hand on my leg, and I screamed, ah! Sparky barked. It's okay, Freddie, it's just me, said Captain Ken. And he lifted me out of the truck. Mrs. Whooshy, I think I found your missing student. Mrs. Whooshy ran over. Oh my goodness, Freddie, are you all right? What were you doing out here? Busted. I started to cry. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Whooshy. I didn't mean to scare you, I said between sobs. But why are you hiding? If I tell you, then you won't laugh at me? Of course not, Freddie. I was afraid to slide down the fire pole, but I was afraid to slide down the fire pole. But if I didn't do it, then everyone would think I was a baby and a fraidy cat. Freddie, do you want me to let you in on a little secret, said Captain Ken. Sure. And there's Captain Ken, Mrs. Whooshy, and Freddie. Just because you're scared sometimes doesn't mean you're a fraidy cat. But you never get scared. Oh, you want to bet? There are plenty of times I see a huge fire and I get really scared to run into a burning building. Really? Yes, really. Does that mean I'm a baby? No, you're really brave. Well, thank you very much. You know, you can be brave too. I can? Yep. Whenever you get scared, just tell yourself to be brave. Take a few deep breaths and go for it. I guess I could try that. Well then, how about trying that right now? Now? Yep. We'll go get the rest of the class and you can be the first one down the pole. I swallowed hard and I looked up at the pole. Come on, you can do it. I know you can, said Captain Ken. Don't let your fears stop you from trying things, and I'll be waiting at the bottom to catch you. Captain Ken took my hand and we went to the rest of the class. Freddie, are you all right? Asked Jessie and Robbie. Captain Ken winked at me. He's better than all right. He's great. He just took a wrong turn coming back from the bathroom. Come on, everybody. It's time for the fire pole, and Freddie's going to be first. Robbie stared at me and mouthed, Are you crazy? I just shook my head and mouthed, "Come on." And we went upstairs to the top of the fire pole. "I'm going to slide down first so I can catch you at the bottom, and then Freddie is going to go next. Ready?" "Freddie," said Max. "Freddie? He's even afraid to go on the monkey bars at school. He's never going to get down that pole." "Max," said Mrs. Wishy, "that is not very nice." "Oh, I think you'll be surprised at just how brave Freddie is," said Captain Ken. "You just watch." He jumped onto the pole and he slid down. He made it look so easy. "Okay, Freddie, now it's your turn. Remember, picture yourself sliding down the pole and landing safely on the ground. You can do it." I took a deep breath. "You can do it, you can do it, you can do it," I said to myself. Then, before I could change my mind, I jumped and grabbed the pole. I slid down so fast that the whole ride seemed to last 2 seconds. Captain Ken caught me at the bottom, and there's Freddie sliding down the pole. Sparky barked and jumped up to lick my face. I couldn't hear all my classmates cheering for me. I could hear all my classmates cheering for me at the top. "Woohoo! All right, Freddie, you did it! You were awesome!" Captain Ken squeezed my hand and smiled. "See, what did I tell you? I knew you could do it. Even fraidy cats can be brave." "Was it scary?" Jessie yelled down from the top of the pole. "Nah, it was actually really fun. I want to do it again," I said. Captain Ken laughed. "Maybe you'll be a firefighter someday. We need some brave people like you." "Maybe I will," I said, and I smiled a great big smile. Maybe I will. The end. I hope you liked Ready Freddy Firehouse Fun.